Hey everybody. So, every single match could be my last one now. I've won one and lost two, and that is pretty bad for a deck that I think is pretty rad. So, let's see if I can do any better. I don't have high hopes right now because, it's one loss and this ends with a pretty rad deck. So, let's see if we can get there. Oh. The hard thing about Magic is the variance is so high. Like, you just lose because your deck does cooperate. But I think the important part of getting better at this game is what you can learn from each game, right? Okay, so right now we have everything is pretty low in terms of mana cost. We have a 2-drop and a 3-drop. I think that's fine for the manas that we have. We have everything we need, so we keep that. We have removal. We have a anti-removal. I think that might be enough. Okay, we're gonna play the Blossoming Sands first because it comes in tapped. I only have 2-drops, so I think that's fine. Or 2s and 3s with no 1-drops. That's gonna be okay. Okay, they're on the life plan in green. They don't have a 2-drop, so that's good for me. I'll start with the Concordia Pegasus. And then we'll play the Sea Striker next. They're also on green and white. So, okay, so they have a better creature. That's a 3/3. I'm not going to be blocking that, so I'm actually going to go ahead and attack with my flyer. Yep. And then we'll play the Siege Striker. We're going to take a hit from the 3/3, but we can Swift Response it to get rid of it. And so we'll keep that in mind. I think they're going to attack. If I were them, that's what I would do. But we'll see. Right now, Hunter's Edge isn't that good. Oh, they might actually have Hunter's Edge. They're playing first, so they have the edge in this game by about maybe 60%. Especially when you're playing aggressive decks, that's the likelihood. Yikes! That's exceptionally bad for me. Alright, so that's the thing I actually need to kill. In this case, I think I need to trick them into attacking me, right? Or into... Okay. We're going to attack with you. Yeah, we're going to tap you. I'm going to have to take a big hit. But I think this is enough to scare them into not blocking. Yeah, they're going to take it. Sure. And then we're going to... Let's see. Every time I put a counter on another creature... Alright, so I need a Hunter's Edge. I'm going to make it look like I don't have another piece of removal. So we're going to Hunter's Edge the Siege Striker. Actually, we'll just kill the Scourge now. Because I can. Alright, that was cool. I should have just done that first, now that I think of it. Oh well. That's a good card. It's a very strong card. Oh, I'm surprised they... Now we can kill this thing. Okay. So, we're going to play the land. And then we're going to attack with the Siege Striker again. Yep. We'll tap you. Yep. And then we'll see if they block. They're going to make the block. And roll feet to protect my Siege Striker from white. Okay. Alright. And then we'll play our threat. My opponent's not playing red, so they don't have power doubling, so I'm not as scared of that. It's possible that they might have 2 Titanic Growths, in which case they'll do a pile of damage on me. I think they might have a Swift Response the way that they're highlighting my Siege Striker. Oh, that Basri's Acolyte. Okay, that's going to make that even bigger. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So this is where I'm going to hold on Swift Response, actually. I'm going to attack with the trio. Yep. Everybody attacks. Actually, no, I'm not going to attack with the Pegasus. It's going to tap down the Striker, so it'll do more damage. No, but I need to attack to make the battalion bigger. Right, okay. Yep. Then we'll see what they're up to. They're just going to take it? Okay. Alright, so they can't protect against the Truffle Snout, so we'll just kill that now. We'll play the Pteranodon on defense. And then we'll end the turn. We'll just hold this to bait them, or to make them think that I might have, perhaps, the Green Mana Ranger Scowl, I think. Okay, they got rid of that one, sure. That's a sorcery. They have a Celestial Enforcer. Okay. And they're on the defensive, so check this out. This is gonna be pretty crazy. Alright, watch. I'll play it on you. Right. So now I have 4/4, and then this one, and they both had trample. So that means that even if they block, the damage is gonna get through. And so I'm gonna attack with you and you. And then I'm gonna tap the both of you to make this a 5/5. First strike Trampler, and I think this is just gonna win. I mean, even if they do manage to do something about this and survive, which I don't think is likely because that's 10 damage coming through, and that's 6, and then 4 will get through. Yeah, I think this one's a pretty easy beatdown on my part. Now, I lucked into just having a better curve than them. And, let's see. I think they made a mistake putting the counter on the Truffle Snout. I think that was a big mistake on their part. Because that kept their lieutenant from turning into a knight itself, and all I had to do was get rid of the lieutenant to get rid of the ability for them to get knights off of the dying creatures. And so that was a mistake on their part, and I think I exploited it by getting rid of their Basri. Now, I might not have had removal, it's possible, so, you know, that was it was a risk on their part, and I took advantage of it. And we're going to go into the next game here. This one, I could get up to 3-2, which would be great. I'd like to get to 4 because that's where you break even in this game, and that means I can draft indefinitely. That's the hope and the dream, but I don't know if I'm going to get there or not. But yeah, winning's good. Alright, we are up against Glowboy in Platinum, so they're a slightly better player than me, I think. But this is a pretty good opening hand. I have a 1-drop, I have a 2-drop, I have 2 ways of putting counters on this to make it an attacker, as well as putting a counter on this. So I like this hand, we're going to keep it. We can get aggressive right away, and we're player 1, so we actually will get a few more beats in. Hopefully, depends on what my opponent's up to. Nothing right now. Ooh, we have a Titanic Growth that'll be good for making some trades in the future, or surprising my opponent. Also, it's a way to turn this into a 7-power attacker, so that's pretty impressive too. Okay, they have a Watcher. Alright, I am totally cool trading my Titanic Growth for the Watcher. So we're going to attack and then see if they are willing to make that trade. Okay. Oh, this is not a chicken stream for them. Sure. We'll do that. We'll get a bunch of life. Beat down their... The Watcher is really strong, so one of the reasons why I killed that right away is because it can do a lot of damage in the sky. It makes all their flyers cheaper, so it's important to get rid of it ASAP. Alright, so now I can get rid of that thing and attack. I'm going to cast the Basri's Acolyte first, because I don't need to get rid of that, I just need to get damage to. This makes the Drowsy Pteranodon an attacker, and this makes this gain 2 life on the attack. So it's actually quite strong. It means that I have more attackers, I have more ability to gain life, and that's just going to put me ahead on this race. I also have a Hunter's Edge that I can use to knock out one of my opponent's other creatures, so I do want to keep that in mind as well. We'll see what my opponent's play is. Okay. Alright. Alright. So that's a strong creature that can block one of my things. But it's not so strong if I can just Haunter's Edge it, right? Watch. This will make this a 3-power creature. That'll knock out the Celestial Enforcer. It makes it hard to block either of these. I'm going to gain a bunch of life. So it's going to take me way ahead on this race. Now, it's possible that they still can stabilize if they can play a big enough spell, but it's going to be hard for them. If I play another land, okay, so they'll bounce one of my creatures. They don't want to bounce that. They're going to bounce their Pteranodon, right? I think that makes sense. Okay. Yep. All right. So I have 5 mana, and I can pump the Chorister to just take out both of these creatures. So I think that's the plan, is to attack with this. I'm actually going to attack with both, because that forces them to actually have to block. Yeah, it forces them to... Well, let me think about this. If I attack with both and I pump this, it becomes a 5/5, which can take out both of these creatures. So they'll probably chump 1. I think it's worth it. Alright, let's do it. Everybody attacks. Yep. Yep. Double block. Sure. And then we're going to get rid of the big flyer. Right, let me just make sure... Yeah, we'll get rid of that. And then we're not going to pump. There's no reason to, because I can get a bunch of ground guys on the ground. So we'll go ahead and take this trade here. We're just way ahead in life. We're going to play you. We're going to play you. Next turn I can pump this and go in with the Battalion and the Chorister. My opponent has more cards than me, so they still can turn this around. It's important to be aware of that. Okay. They don't have enough power to stop my Chorister, so they're going to be chumping for a few turns now. So we're going to attack with just the Chorister. Yep. And then they're going to block with... I'm guessing the Larcenist? No, they're going to block with the Pegasus to force me to use my ability. Okay, so we're going to use the ability. We're going to get rid of their creatures one at a time. Get value and just a pile of life. It's going to be hard for them to come back from this, because the 6 to 46 life difference is pretty enormous. But they could have removal for my Chorister. Let's see, are they thinking of attacking with the Larcenist to draw a card? I would definitely do that, just because it's not doing much otherwise. Yep. Suicide it to draw a card. I think that's a fair play. If they draw a swift response, for example, this is how they get in and back into the game. Alright, so again, we're going to do this with you, and then we're going to also attack with you. I don't mind trading in this case, because I have other plays to make. Yep. They should block the Battalion, because I did show that giant growth before. They could have a Feat of Resistance, which would suck, but that's life sometimes. I'll go ahead and punch through this guy. No, they just take the trade. Alright, this is not a good place for them, but it's not the worst either. They just keep playing blockers. Yeah, there's another blocker that I'm just going to keep punching through. Short sword, yeah, put that on there. It's not enough, of course, but they are going to force me to just attack one more turn. They'll block, yep. I'll pump. Oh, did they have something else? No, so I'll pump. So now I have all the cards, right? I have 4 cards, they're 1. They're forced to block every turn. Oh, how did they have to survive? Wait a second, what happened here? I must have missed something. Alright, well, we're gonna do it again. Keep attacking. I'm at 56 life, and they're at 1, so this game is not going to go well. Okay, now we'll cast a Shield Mate. We have another vector of attack. They're going to have to block both. I guess they can counter that, but I don't think that'll make them happy to. They spent 2 mana to counter a 1 mana spell. And they lose. I think it was really hard for them to get out of that one. I did it. I got to 3-2. I feel pretty good about that. And yeah. So I think that's going to be it for tonight. I hope that these games were enjoyable for you and perhaps something that you can learn from. I am going to go to bed soon, but I will be back for more of this. Yeah. Yes, Nick, that was an obscene amount of health. There was no way my opponent was going to get out of that without having some sort of spell that kills all of my creatures, which I don't know if there is one in this set. So I think that's going to be it. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos or my streams, hit subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow to continue taking this deck, hopefully to all the way to the end here, but I don't know if this deck will get there. But until then, thanks for watching. This was Refresh. Good night.